Learning daily Nishmas Etta Ahuva Yaakov Bava Basra Perek Beis Mishna Yomi Yiftach Adam Chanusha Nachtoimim V'Shel Tzaboim. A person cannot have a bakery or a place where there's dye. Tachas Oitzer Shel Chaver. From the floor on top of him, the person is storing Paris because the heat that comes out from the bottom floor is going to be mazik the Paris. V'loi refes bakar, you can't have that on the bottom floor either. And over here it's because of the reyach. Be'emes biyayin hetiru. If on the top floor is wine, so then it's mutter because the heat doesn't damage the wine. Avaloi refes bakar, but the reyach would damage the wine, and therefore you can't have a refes bakar even if on the top floor is an oitzer of yayin. Mishnah says another halacha, if a person has a store in the chater, you could be moicha in him and tell him, I can't sleep because of all the crowd that's coming in there. Now the Mishnah says, Agav, a person that makes kalim, so he should go out and he should sell it in the shuk. But the Mishnah says in the Seifa, if someone in the yard is making noise because of hammers or because of a mill or because of tinaikis, then that's the normal thing to do in a chatzar, and on that you can't be moicha. So the Gemara asks, Mishna Reisha, Mishna Seifa. What's the chilik that in the Reisha of the Mishnah it's called nechnasim kol hayetzim, you can't sleep because of people, and that we said that yachal limchis biyad, you're able to make a macha, and in the Seifa it says eini yachal limchis biyad mikol hatinaikis. You should be able to be moicha for the tinaikis. The maskanas hagemara is machlekes Abaye v'Rava, but Rava says that Seifa nasam l'tinaikis shel beis rabban u'meitakanas Yeshua ben Gamla ve'elech. That the Seifa is talking about that there are children learning Torah over there, and Yeshua ben Gamla made a takana that they're allowed to learn Torah, and you should learn Torah. And the Gemara is Mayrich that if not for Yeshua ben Gamla, Torah would have been forgotten from Kal Yisrael, because originally someone who had a father, his father would teach him Torah, but someone who didn't have a father, he wouldn't be able to learn Torah. And he darshan that they should make takana, that you should have malamdei tinekis, children, teachers, rabbeim in Yerushalayim. The Gemara further says that in Yerushalayim specifically, it's a good place to learn Torah because Kimitzi and Seisei Seira, and Taisus explains because you would see the Kedusha Gedela and the Kerenim being Isaac in the Avaida, and that would make a person be able to learn more. He would have more Yiras Shamayim and be able to learn more. So that's why if a person wants to learn Torah in his yard, and even though the children are making noise and it's causing him that he's not able to sleep, the halacha is that you're not allowed to make a macha on that. He has a right to have rabbeim teaching his kids Torah. Mishnah Dalin, Misha Yekoisoi Samach Lekoisel Chaveroi. If someone's wall is perpendicular to the wall of his friend, Leismach Lekoisel Achar. Now the person wants to make another wall which would be parallel to the first wall, so it'll look like a ches at the end. You're not allowed to do that, elam kein hirchik mimeno arba amas, unless you have 4 amas in between the 2 parallel walls. And the Gemara explains because avsha dahacha ma'ila lahasam, that it's good for people to walk in between. That strengthens the wall when they're pushing down the dirt in between the 2 walls. That's a good thing for the walls, and therefore you can be mechayev him that the wall, the second wall that he's building parallel to the first wall, should be 4 amas in between. The last halacha in the Mishnah is chaloinos. If one person had chaloinos in his wall, above his wall, so then milamaylo umilamato umicheneg, then arba amas, and the next person now wants to build a wall opposite. So the wall has to be either 4 amas above the window or 4 amas below the window. And the reason of both these things is that he shouldn't be able to look into the window, so for privacy reasons. And also there has to be 4 amas in between the wall and the window, because if the wall is too close to the window, then it makes it darker for him, and he has a right to be moicha that he shouldn't make his window darker. And we're talking about obviously over here that the person with the window was here first. Rashi explains that he was huchzik b'davar shalosh shanim, he already had these windows there for 3 years.